Hi, y'all. It's me again. Oh my god. This just getting juicier and juicier. I mean, oh my god. Sloan freaking got hold of one of the people that Jamie Lynn is saying bullied her in the book and everything and said all these mean things about her. Well, and this girl worked with Jamie Lynn and everything. Oh my god, y'all. This girl that she worked with is letting it fly. She's saying that I only had one sleepover with this girl, which was kind of weird. She, and she didn't know which kind freaking, you know, planned it. She never picked on Brittany. I mean, picked on Jamie. She was the one getting picked on because she was the youngest out of the cast. And that Jamie was the bully. That Jamie, oh, you should hear what she said on this thing. Let's start it from the beginning.
Spears has been using this book as a weapon against her family and people who have been in her life. You guys already know how Britney Spears feels about this book. And starting on page 34, Jamie Lynn decides to go and character assassinate Alexa Nicholas. So today we're going to hear from Alexa Nicholas and what she thinks about Jamie Lynn's book and the lies that she told. We're going to get Alexa's side of the story. So let's get into it.
And Alexis put out some good points in this interview with Sloan. Just listen to it.
So today we're going to be chatting with Alexa Nicholas about Jamie Lynn Spears' new book. Alexa Nicholas worked with Jamie Lynn Spears on the show Zoe 101. She played Nicole Bristow, and Jamie Lynn decided to include some stories about Alexa in her book. Claims that Alexa was a bully and that she told everyone that Jamie Lynn had lice and that she stunk and all of these awful things. She even describes the experience that Alexa had with Britney, where Britney yelled at Alexa for bullying Jamie Lynn when that was far from the truth. It's actually bizarre that Jamie Lynn decided to include this in her book because, like, this is like her memoir, like she's 30 years old. Like, it's weird that this moment, like, still sticks with her and she's just not over it.
I mean, she's a 30-year-old woman and she's not over it. Not over something when she was 12.
Again, like a 30-year-old woman. And
grow the fuck up, Jamie.
You're still like saying that like Alexa is this boy. It's almost like active. It's like
also she was not bullied. I was bullied like relentlessly by her.
So what is Jamie Lynn's goal here? I mean, is her life that boring?
She was relentlessly bullied by Jamie Lynn.
Had to make it into the book, and she had to go and over-exaggerate and lie about what happened. Who knows? But it's bizarre how Jamie Lynn has been operating. And honestly, I don't know how she can sleep at night. Alexa also agrees. Like, how do these people live with themselves with this guilt?
I don't know how these people. I honestly tell my mom this. I don't know how they sleep. I get stressed out about little things, and I'm like, if my husband's like, you hurt my feelings earlier, being a parent, whatever. I'm lying in bed, like, I need to fix myself, small things. I don't know how people, I don't know.
Maybe these people just.
I mean, is she seriously trying to ruin other people's career other than Britney's?
Let's go ahead and get into this.
While I'm trying to build herself up.
Wanted to clarify. So first off, Alexa was confused because Jamie Lynn and her weren't on bad terms. So why did she write this book and decide to include Alexa?
And badmouth Alexa.
I thought we were okay because she apologized to me. And I thought, okay, this is the first time I've received an apology. And I think I was like 6 months or 8 months pregnant at the time. So I was in this state of mind where I was like, I don't want any drama. I just want to calm. I want to focus on my baby and focus on building.
She wants to be a
family.
mom.
And so when she apologized to me, I forgave her.
So life moves on, and Jamie Lynn reaches out to Alexa, and she tries to send her something, which Alexa found very interesting. At this point, she actually unfollowed Jamie Lynn because the Free Britney movement was thriving. We heard what Britney had to say, and Alexa just didn't want anything to do with it.
She did send me a text message just saying that she wanted to send me something, and if I still have the same mailing address. I was like, that's kind of weird. Why? You know, I just
you haven't heard from her in years, and yet she wants to send you something out of the blue in the regular mail.
Once I was hearing everything that Britney Spears was saying, even though I had my own traumatic experience, you know, with Britney, which when something's wrong, it's wrong. You know, I don't care what necessarily happened with my personal relationship with them per se. If something is wrong and someone is speaking up about it and wants justice or wants to be heard, like I'm all about that regardless of my relationship with them. It's like a non-biased thing. It's like, that's wrong. I see that. Enough evidence for me to understand it.
Yeah. Seems like a level-headed woman, man.
So I unfollowed her. So I thought that was kind of strange that she was reaching out. And then I just Googled her. I was just like, what's going on? You know,
exactly.
Life over there. And I saw that Britney unfollowed her like the day before.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of weird. Yet again, she's reaching out to me during a time that's not making her look good.
You'll learn throughout this video that Jamie Lynn has some manipulative tendencies, and it'll make you question your own reality. So let's go ahead and get into the book and what she actually had to say, because Jamie Lynn claims that they were all such good friends, hanging out and doing all that, but that's not the truth. She started talking about like season 1 and just like, you know, becoming close friends with Kristen and with you, and on the weekends you guys would have sleepovers and go to the beach, the mall,
and she's waving her finger like, honey, honey. That is so alive.
Oh my god, what?
First of all, I at that age, I wish that was what was happening.
Yeah.
But that was, we had one sleepover that felt, you know, I think I mentioned it in my life. There was like one time that her, me, and you know Dana like got together and had a sleepover, and I feel like I don't know what mom orchestrated that, but it was at Herrera's place.
Yeah. And
it was all 3 of us, and I remember, you know, seeing that there was like a very strong bond between them more so, and I just thought in my head I was like, oh, she's a little bit older than me, and you know Jamie is also 1 year older than me, and that's probably why they're, you know, so close, and I'm like this younger, kind of bubbly, like, you know, I was definitely made fun of for being too nice or too smiley or whatever, which I still sometimes definitely am, but I didn't take it, I wasn't jealous or anything, I was just like, oh, I'm young, I felt insecure more so.
Yeah, and you're literally 12 years old, You're in a position that not a lot of kids are in, where you're like, in this working environment, like, I feel like anything you're feeling at that time is pretty much justified by the fact that you're just a child.
Yeah, I don't even
exactly.
remember.
She's
12 years so long ago too that I don't remember. But I just, you know, I felt a little bit insecure about being so young and wanting to be friends so badly, because that's just my personality type. But other than that, we had no sleepovers. There were. And didn't she say that we became close friends fast or something?
Yes, fast.
Yeah. No, that's
no.
An absolute lie.
So why are we printing these blatant lies? And let's get into the story that Alexa is some type of bully, calling Jamie Lynn mean and all that, because in reality, that wasn't the case. Later on, like, so as Jamie Lynn continued in her book, she said that there were rumors about her being mean or maybe bitchy, and then at one point in the book, she, like, credits you for making those rumors. I was gonna say, like, personally, like, I feel like if it happened, it's fine. Literally, you were 12 years old. But, like, when you were reading this, like, what are your immediate thoughts? Like, do you kind of remember? I mean, also, if she was mean when you said it, like,
what the out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I can't say that. I WTF? I was literally just, I couldn't believe. I was like, what? That never happened. No one ever even came up to me or rumored or told me that I was making up rumors about her. So
exactly.
I never heard that before.
So all of a sudden she just comes out with this?
Talking about. It was just totally random.
It came from left field.
I've ever heard that explanation or that. I've never heard that before. It was the first time.
So just like, and it's crazy because she's like
weird.
Like, that's your character that she's like describing here, claiming that you're over here like in the workplace, calling her mean and bitchy. I mean, being 12 or whatever.
Oh, she was being mean. Okay,
Yeah.
so like that's the thing. Like she was being mean, but I wasn't even saying that. So how I was always like, why?
She was the mean one.
Why doesn't she like me? You know,
Yeah.
why won't she sit with me at lunch? Or why aren't I invited to hang out with her? Or how come she never reaches out to me or says hello to me? You know, these were the feelings that I felt, but it wasn't like she's mean. She's
like gossipy and all that.
I didn't even know how to gossip that.
Alexa also noted that it was very convenient that Alexa's being dragged through this book, but where's everyone else's names? I mean, these rumors were going down and all this was happening. Who was telling you this, Jimmy Lynn? Because it didn't happen, so who's the source
if they
of this
didn't
information?
happen, who's telling her these lies?
All that and said that people were giving her this information.
Who are these people?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of weird because, first of all, if you're going to talk about me and you're going to talk about your sister so blatantly and say all these things, like, why not just throw in there who it was that was telling you that I was saying these things about you? There's only two reasons why she wouldn't. One, it's a lie. So she doesn't want to be called out on more lies. Because if she mentions another person, now that other person's going to be like, I never said that, and then she's in a really weird situation. Or two, someone did maybe say that to her and she's still close with them and doesn't want to, necessarily rock that boat. Because the only person that I could think making up that ridiculous rumor, like smelling bad and lies, which I've never said in my life, I swear I've never said that, is, Victoria. So that's the only person who I could think of just because they were bullying me during that time period, and she was a close friend of mine and ended up not being so trustworthy. So it's like, if that is the truth, then someone's lying to you or you're lying about the lie.
Yeah, and literally you're her book. And it's like, there's a few pages where it's just like, it is weird because it's just like jabs at you opposed to like, where's the other gaps? I mean, just getting into the part where she brings her mother into it. I mean, it's pretty brief. This next part really irks me because Jamie Lynn decides to go and drag Alexa's mother into this. Like, why would you even want to do that to someone who's so detached from the whole situation?
Exactly.
Just for context for everyone else, like, pretty much Jamie Lynn said the way that Alexa's mother would walk around on set as if she owned it and excuse me, still got the post-COVID.
It's such a fucking immature shit coming out of freaking Jamie Lynn, isn't it? She's supposed to be a 30-year-old adult, and yet she's acting like a 5-year-old right now in this book.
That's what made me post what I ended up posting, to be honest. I was like, oh, whatever, if you want to keep this up, and I don't need to really talk about this. But when I saw my mom, who's, in her mid-60s now and doesn't have an easy life, she's doing her thing and trying to make things work, and she's still working in her mid-60s and doing her thing, and I respect her more than anyone in my mom is the most, I learned all this bubbliness from my mom, and she's just one of the most approachable people I've ever met. And my mom definitely never walked around. First of all, no one owns the set. So no one owns a set, and if anyone does, it's the person who's the lead on the show. And Jamie and her mom were more like that than anybody else. That's how I saw it.
How did she feel that Jamie Lynn?
Very narcissistic tendencies right now
and
from
I had
Jamie
to
Lynn.
tell her it while she was driving. And if you only
Blame the victim.
Oh no.
And act like they're the victim.
She was just horrified and upset, and you can hear that she
and pick on people that don't even matter to her.
She also, it's like this doubting of the reality that is concerning, because that's what I personally don't like about what I read, is because it's not reality.
Again, no one's mother deserves to be dragged into this. That was just such a low blow. Like,
yeah,
really?
very low blow by Jamie Lynn.
Why did Britney Spears say that you were the scum? I mean, starting to add up in my opinion. Then we get into the interaction that Alexa had with Britney. So just a quick background. So as you know, Britney Spears was a super pop star, and Jamie Lynn was on the show. And Jamie Lynn decided to go to Britney and I guess tell Britney that Alexa was doing all these awful things. So Britney wanted to have a chat
And
with
they
her.
show a picture of Jamie Lynn hanging out, smiling with
and Jamie
Alexa.
Lynn brings up this story about Alexa said that Jamie had lice or something. It's just so far fetched.
It's so immature.
Alexa's even surprised that this is what is this? When did this happen? Because
Grow
it's
the
not
fuck
reality.
up.
And you remember back being on the show and
Shorty, oh my
hearing
god.
the rumor about the lice, or was there lice, or what is?
First of all, no lice. No one got any lice. I don't even think I've ever gotten lice. But no, there was no lice. I never heard that rumor. I have no idea. It's almost like an old person is trying to write about teenage drama. And they're like, what do teenagers talk smack about, lice and smelling bad? It's like, okay, first of all, this sounds like a horrible novel. There's no lice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
No, but that's how she's setting the scene up for being okay, so that's why she had Britney come and.
That's what she's saying?
And the bullying, yeah. So,
oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty.
She's flabbergasted. Alexa is flabbergasted.
So she wanted to. I guess Britney was pregnant at this point, and she sent a PA to come and get you for that moment where you and Britney chatted. So
my mom.
Yeah. So when the PA came to you, do you remember that interaction? What did they say to you? What did they say that Britney needed you for?
No, they didn't say Britney needed me.
Oh, okay.
He came, knocked on the door, which usually always happens. And they bring you to makeup and hair, or they bring you to set. And so he knocked on the door, and I remember my mom answered, and Ian was like, his name's Ian. I hope he hears me. His name's Ian. I forgot his last name, but his name's Mr. Ian. He knocked. My mom was like, yes, and he goes, Alexa's needed in makeup and hair. Normal, nothing weird about that. So my mom says, go ahead. I happened a lot because it's only 2 trailers down. So, and he would take me. So while we were walking, he goes, oh, wait. I just remembered.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. Not Britney. Jamie would like to speak to you and Britney in the trailer. And I was like, oh, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great because maybe they want, have a good conversation finally and we're actually going to talk, I thought. But I was still a little bit nervous. And then I remember going in and Jamie running, to the back of the trailer and knowing something's not good, And then when she started yelling at me, which I've spoken about, and threatening my career, it was like she was my idol, at that time. And I had everything Britney Spears when I was younger and, looked up to her. And so it was just the most scary experience at that age, especially, where it's just this older person who you respect and admire. And
very popular and powerful.
Powerful. Power dynamics are not good in this situation. And I'm a minor. And it's like I have no parents and my mom doesn't even know where I am, I'm supposed to be in makeup and hair. And it was just I threw up, So it was just extremely overwhelming and I couldn't even go on set. And what was about it, sorry, bleep, or whatever, it was that, Jamie ran to the back of the trailer. And I'll never forget that just because I feel like that's a consistent pattern with her. She kind of, hides away when, she doesn't want to necessarily do the thing. And then, comes forward when it's something that kind of benefits her.
And it's like she could have just been gaslighting Britney into thinking you're so horrible. And then as soon as you come into your room, it's of course she doesn't want to be in the middle of those two because she's got Britney so mad now for all she's got you. It's gonna be wait, what are you talking about? So it's she removes herself just to watch the
whole drama
go off and just kind of enjoyed it, I guess.
And pretty much. And honestly, when I look back and now knowing everything that she was Britney, I still obviously we can't know everything she was personally going through, but now that she's spoken out and we get a glimpse into that, now I really understand what was probably going on there. And that was probably, Jamie giving her a bunch of lies about whatever. And, she was feeling like she was protecting her sister, even though it's not the right way to do it. And I would never advise anyone to do it in that way because it's really traumatizing. I do at least understand the pressure and what she was going through on, the background of her life and why she could pop off like that. Like it's hard. Life is very hard and we make mistakes. And I understand that.
What's interesting about this beef that Jamie Lynn has with Alexa is that she is thriving off of it. Like she literally liked the post that Alexa made on Instagram because Alexa did make a post to clarify what really happened and to call out Jamie Lynn. And Jamie Lynn liked it. Like, why? You did make that post on Instagram and someone told me that she liked it. Did you see that she liked it?
I saw that, but I couldn't see it on mine, but I saw that someone snapshotted it and she did.
Yeah.
Why does she do that? Why does she like things that are... I know, this is what I mean by toxic.
Yeah.
Because then you start questioning, like, why is she liking this? Like, who cares? Like, to stop doing what you're doing. Like, just please, for the love of God, like, just go. I would just want to
just go away.
Go figure out what's going on with me because it's so deep. I did text her. I was upset, so I sent her one text message and I said, "You're a phony." But
she didn't reply, right?
So she blocked me.
Oh, like on text message? Oh my God.
I wanted to I was like, okay, this is annoying that I'm having to do this publicly, but I would also like to have a conversation, maybe possibly one-on-one, so that I'm not just that person who's going over here and not addressing me over here. And so, I was upset, but I was like, you're a phony. And then I went to go send her another thing and she, I couldn't send it through. So I realized.
So she blocked her.
Follow me, please. Why are you following somebody that you lie about?
It's honestly weird how Jamie Lynn gets off on it all. But Alexa did tell me a story about Paul Butcher, who was another character on the show. He played Dustin, who was Zoe's little brother in the show. And anyways, Alexa was very isolated and bullied by everyone on set. And there was a moment where there was a rap party, and it actually happened. This moment happened while they were filming an episode, Little Beach Party. And during this episode, Dustin went around and invited everyone to a rap party, except Alexa, which is just another example of how she was treated on set of Zoe 101.
Oh, but that was something I wanted to mention with Paul Butcher, though.
I was about to ask.
Okay, I wanted to say this. I don't know if I even said this in the live, but the last episode that I did, what was it? Was it the spring? What was the one where we were at the beach? I'm even blanking on this. But we were at the beach. We go from the school to the beach and we get stranded. Okay. Anyways, I forget. I feel like it was a special. It turned into a Nickelodeon special that week. Anyways, I remember it was the last episode, and all the producers came with these Razor scooters and gave them to the kids. And I saw Paul, little Paul, running around giving invitations. I don't even remember if he had them physically or if he was saying it verbally loud. I can't remember that. But I remember him telling everybody that he was having a rap party. And I was like, oh, wow. So I'm waiting at the end. I'm just scared. And I'm waiting. And then I see Paul and he looks at me and he's like, I'm not kidding.
Oh no.
It's and just runs off. And I was like, that is the most messed up. I remember crying. I was crying.
Imagine being a 12-year-old and just not invited to the party and how that must feel. And it's just I don't know what else to think, but everyone.
She was part of the cast and was not invited to the rap party.
I mean, you're homeschooled, these are your friends, and you're just being rejected by everyone. But Alexa is a strong person, and she has gone through a lot, and she has learned that life is better without having these toxic people around. But this is just, and it's poorly done, honestly.
Is there photos in it?
There are photos. Isn't that weird?
I was wait, I didn't. There are photos.
There's a lot of pictures. I don't think she put you in there. I'm sorry, but.
Oh man, shucks. I was hoping there was a little photo.
She's gonna drop some devil horns on you or something. Oh no.
Her like evil eyes, like.
Yeah, like she would have scratched out your face in the Zoe 101 picture. Mean girl energy.
That's totally mean girl. I wouldn't have been surprised. And she's such a bummer.
She's
I would
like,
actually
I'm
kind of,
not
you know,
totally
I'm
surprised.
Okay, like unfollowing her and kind of just trusting. Because I've been in a situation where I've had to speak out, you know, about things in my life, and I knew I was telling the truth, and I knew I just wanted to be heard and also help others that are in similar situations. So I really, it really resonated with me when Britney spoke out, and it was a hard thing for me to do to unfollow Jamie because I was a little bit like, I'm making a judgment call here, and I have to be careful, like really assess this as much as I can. I tried, and I just couldn't not unfollow.
Exactly.
You know, like,
Yeah, you're like, I need to.
I just need to, you know, I tried to even hold on a little bit. He asked my husband, and you know, I can't do it. And now I'm
I like the best
I was so
Jamie on
grateful
the
to have Alexa
yeah.
come on my channel,
With the
and I wanted to
crocodile.
share a nice little clip at the end where I'm just thanking her because I think it's important to go and thank those people who are making a difference. And it's not just this instance. There have been things in the past that I've talked about for my channel. Go and check them out, and it's just very powerful that she has been so open and vulnerable with everyone. Oh no, even though it's like you've gone through so much and stuff, there's like a fearless.
She's not only going after Britney, she's going after people from her
even I know it's scary to speak out, but
she's
when
a
you do
fucking narcissist.
It's a
I'm
lot,
telling you,
but
she's
the world
gaslighting
really
and
receives
taking
it,
down
and just
everybody.
from this to
That
other things you've done as well, I think it's like
would
been
say
a
something
fantastic
bad about her.
that was so sweet.
Oh,
You're making me cry.
yeah. No, it makes me emotional too. Also, because I just don't. I mean, we've already like you've gone through so much, so it's just like that's a lot, and like I don't know, you like shouldn't be underrated for any of that. It's also meaningful to a lot of people. So.
So sweet of you to say.
Oh, well, I really like you're making me cry too. I cry when I see you cry. Oh well, thank you so much for speaking with me, Alexa. I'm not gonna hit.
I mean, I'm gonna go to Popcorn Planet again. Let's see, library. Shut up, Britney. This is my truth. It's called.
I can't believe she wrote this. Jamie Lynn responded to the thing I just recorded about. Oh, and I'm going to react to it. But before I do,
Andy,
let's see what I just
Sigmore.
And then I'm going to come back at the end with an update.
It's on top of it, even though he has COVID and everything.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signor, and I think Jamie Lynn, speaking about everyone using their voice, finally got to Britney Spears because she just used her voice for
Britney
another
for clapping back
response to Jamie Lynn Spears.
And the way she
and
clapped
my
back.
God, girl, I just couldn't
She's
be prouder
such
of her.
a
Look,
bigger
it's a
person
sad
in this
message
matter.
because
You can
it's
tell
filled
that
with
she's
so
the bigger
much
person
truth
in this matter.
and sadness. But Britney wisely and nicely and lovingly puts it really all on the line for Jamie Lynn as to like, girl, how could you not understand why I'm mad? And explains again, like after everything that's happened to me, and then gets into details about it, and then calls her and her brother Brian out. She puts it all out publicly in a way, but does it in a loving, sisterly way. That
exactly.
I'm amazed by it.
I bow down to Britney. I want to be like Britney right now.
Non-judgmental.
With my own family.
Fairly, confronting in a strong way. Let's read this together because I'm still kind of shocked that she just put it all out there like she did. But bravo, girl. Jamie Lynn, I don't think your book is about me at all. Now, this is at first, it's important to remember Jamie Lynn put this very defensive and aggressive post of her own out when Britney responded kind of flippantly while on fever. And Jamie Lynn immediately, PR mode, put this out there. And I hate to burst my sister's bubble, but my book is not about her.
I like to say that she was the main one that's up goes in on that subject as well.
But right out the gate, rather than be mean about it,
audio proof
look, I don't think her book is about me at all. I said some harsh things because you obviously hurt me by the things you were making up about me. When I said only a scum person would make up things like that about someone, I could have sworn I said, but you're not. But it doesn't make sense at all to me what you were saying. I know you worked hard for the life you have, and you have done amazing. But I think we both would have to agree to the fact that the family has never been remotely as hard on you as they have been on me. What Dad did to me, they don't even do that to criminals. So for you to sit back and act completely aloof to what has happened to me is honestly insane to me. Do you know anybody who has worked as hard as I did in the hours I put in during those 13 years, only to be sent away for 4 months for no reason at all? And I won't even mention what was done to me in that place. Ugh. It took them years to give me a cup of coffee. People who have killed people are in jail or on death row can have as much of coffee as they want. So why the hell would my own family be hiding coffee from me? You guys treated me like nothing, and that's not even half of it. I'm honestly shocked Dad isn't in jail. Preach. Come on. We are supposed to have each other's back.
Exactly.
But what you're saying just truly confuses me. All I know is I love you unconditionally, so go ahead and say whatever you want. It's so tacky for a family to fight publicly like this. You say you love me, yet your loyalty is still with the people that hurt me the most. Facts. I think the thing that saddens me the most is that when this all happened to me, and when I called you from that place, you would take days to respond. I never got to talk to you. You would just text me days later, and I was so scared. I needed you. My family, my blood, and your support more than anything. You guys did absolutely nothing until a year ago. I said something on Instagram, and you and Brian showed up at my house because of an Instagram post. That makes me the saddest. Why? Because I needed you way before that. And the fact that you and Brian showed up laughing at my gate instead of knowing you should have been here way before that makes me very sad. I don't care anymore. Say whatever you want to say. Just know I do know your real heart more than anyone. If your life, it's your life and you deserve a beautiful life, I wish I would be able to do what you're doing and do interviews. I'm scared of all of it. I admire you for being strong. Just know I love you, and I think you know that already more than anything. I mean, this makes me so sad that she has to deal
Her
with
brother
sister
and
out there
Jamie were
pitching
laughing
fits to sell a book about
her
my
and
voice,
stuff
my voice,
at
my
her
voice.
house gate.
What
What kind of people are these people?
Voice, which Jamie Lynn, you told everyone to do. And way to drop some serious truth bombs and facts right there. Because I'm sorry, Jamie Lynn, you don't work as hard as Britney did.
No.
And all that pressure for the whole family was always on her shoulders. I just started reading the book that you wrote, Jamie Lynn, and you sort of flippantly blame her for a lot of it because, all the fame and everything else.
Oh, God forbid. Jamie has to do something in her life.
Brian a job. Let's be honest, Jamie Lynn, that's what got you on to all that.
Yep.
Having your sister constantly cameo on said Nickelodeon show while you're the cast member definitely is a benefit to why do we cast that girl over that girl?
The girl.
Exactly. Britney Spears and she'll show up to the shows. Jamie Lynn, come on, stop being glib. You obviously got a lot of everything. I'm trying to be nice here like Britney is. You've gotten everything because of your last name built by your sister, who has never stopped working. They kept her working, even through her alleged, she was erratic and all. They kept her working through it all.
Exactly. She was
You
allowed
didn't work
to stop.
like that, ever. What day? Give me a break, dude. So for her to lay it out like this, I'm in awe. I'm in awe. And I'm just sad.
I'm bound to bring it.
How does Jamie Lynn
because she is being the
because
adult
what's really happening, and I don't know if
Jamie,
maybe someone is helping Britney here, but it's really smart because she's so confused with what's going on. All this. Your loyalty is still with the people that hurt you the most.
And everything.
She does know what's going on.
Exactly.
That's Lou Taylor. That's her mom.
Jamie knows exactly.
These are the people that helped write Jamie Lynn's book. I'm already a little bit through it. I can tell. That's absolutely what's going on in that book. It's so revealing, guys. It's so revealing. And Jamie Lynn, you are just as exposed as possible. And anybody else who interviews her for this dumb book and doesn't start pressing questions about Britney, you guys all need to be fired. Because I can't imagine she could do any more press now. Britney has now blown up the whole opportunity to do any more press for this book. It'll be amazing to see Jamie Lynn try to deal with this now in the press. She's going to have to go radio silent on any more additional interviews or things that she has planned. but I imagine there's going to be some opportunities, and I would think she might get some opportunities now. Could this all be part of the plan, Team Khan's plan, to keep pushing and trying to get Britney there? But to get Britney to finally just level it out like this, man, good luck on this one, Jamie
I
Lynn.
applaud
Good luck on this
Britney
one. So when you, Jamie Lynn,
for that
talk
comment.
about, oh man, all these vague things you put out there, you just didn't pay. You were never listening. Oh, why is Auntie putting out such vague accusatory posts when she knows she could tell the truth and put an end to all of this in 1 second? You just wanted her to tell the fans to leave you alone. That's what you wanted. You wanted them to tell you to leave you alone, and the sad reality was, though, no, it's not going to work that way.
No.
Doesn't work that way.
No.
She's going to tell the truth, and the truth is you weren't there for her. You are caught.
You're caught busted wide open with
this. Britney finally stand up against this woman and say, no, enough is enough. Let's tell everybody. If we're really going to air this out over social media, which last thing I wanted to do, but here we are. Well, you took it here, Jamie Lynn.
Yep, you took it there.
By posting this dumb book in the first place.
Exactly.
No one really needed. You say you needed to tell your voice, but no, the only one who needs a voice right now is Britney, who's literally been locked up against her will for 13 years. How does that not go through your skull?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. You say you're her biggest fan. You say you love her. Jamie Lynn, she's repeating over and over again.
Like a broken record.
Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe you thought she was a rat. Okay, now you know. Do you think this is the right time to put your all the tough life that Jamie Lynn Spears lived? You don't understand how stupid that makes you look? Well, I'm back, and Jamie Lynn has responded.
Here's part
and
2.
Guys,
this is where he goes in.
Britney, just call me. I have attempted many times to speak to you directly and handle this privately, like sisters should. But you still chose to do everything on a public platform, says the woman who wrote a book and is on a publicity tour talking about her sister.
Talking about calling the kettle black. Okay.
How do you get that dim? Like, you really aren't bright.
Jamie's not bright.
I didn't be mean, but my God, you really aren't bright. Like, I thought it was stupid enough when you wrote this story a little bit ago. Nobody trashes your name more than someone who's afraid you'll tell people the truth. Yeah, that's what you're doing to Britney. Trashing her and
Alexa,
because you
and everyone in your book.
Because you know you'll go to jail. Because you were involved more than you want to admit.
Exactly.
So back to the new response. In the meantime, please stop continuing the narrative that I haven't been there for you or that I'm making things up. I'm happy to share how many times I've reached out to you, supported you, and tried to help you. Oh, God. This is embarrassing and has to stop. No, you're right. There's only one thing that's embarrassing, though. It's you. Jamie Lynn.
Exactly.
Love ya at Britney Spears. Oh, yeah, sure looks like it. Sure looks like it. Your sister goes and pours her heart out to you.
Exactly.
And is genuinely kind about it. Like, tells you how much she wants you to have a beautiful family and you deserve a life and all the,
exactly.
Blah, 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 blah. And that's your response? I mean, why am I surprised? Why am I surprised? I shouldn't be surprised.
You shouldn't be surprised with Jamie Lynn. She is a narcissistic psychopath. I've lived with these type of people.
You can't trust these people ever again.
In my own family.
They do not have your best interest at heart. They don't care about you.
No.
They will continue to exploit you
exactly
the rest of your life. This sister of yours, this is not what a sister does.
Britney, just end it. Cut him at the throat. Tell him nothing more.
Make some cash quick and tell my story.
She needs to write her own book and say, "This is my truth."
Both think sucks.
This is what exactly happened
on Jamie and Jamie Lynn.
When Jamie Lynn was young,
this is from her father.
Jamie Lynn was horrible.
Horrible. Well, still to this day.
And it was on Twitter, a Twitter thread by a girl named Suki.
Britney was like her second mother. She agitated everybody to death. She was loud, and she was bad.
Oh, what a surprise there. No.
And this is a comment from Daddy about
no, you're so sweet.
Britney's little sister.
Everyone should be able to speak and share their truth. Oh, unless it goes
And
against
here's
yours.
the father
So
bad-mouthing
Britney
his
must stop
sister.
continuing a narrative. That doesn't suit you. Because her truth doesn't matter. Only your truth matters. Right now, Jamie Lynn? You're the
Exactly.
biggest hypocrite I've ever seen in my life. You're an awful sister. You are a terrible person. You out there talking about women's voices and speaking up for your kids. You let your aunt be locked up for 13 years as you were there checking in on the kids, and she couldn't. You had no concept, and now you know she's telling you, and you're like, "I was there. I was there. I tried. You didn't text me. She couldn't
And
text
text
anybody.
you! You
Oh my
dumb
God.
blonde
This woman-
bitch!
I'm just disgusted. Oh, I
Excuse
can't wait
my
to read your
language.
book. In fact, let's make her even angrier, guys. I'm reading the
Please
book
go to
only
Popcorn
because I
Planet
got
and
paid
help
to
this
do
guy
it,
read this
and I'm
book.
almost at $2,000. Let's make this $3,000 just to piss you off, Jamie Lynn. I'd love to give some more money to thisismybrave.org. Let's keep the money coming because now this is just to spite you. This is just to spite you. I want to make money off your book to spite you because I don't like you. You suck. Sorry, what you're doing to Britney is hideous. It's a bomb.
And
I
to
am
Alexa,
just
to
so
everybody
angry
in this
that you're
book.
doing this to someone who's been stuck for 13 years in prison against her will. Worse in conditions worse than prison. And she can't. She's like, prisoners. She's even saying for that 4 months she was literally. Oh my God, Jamie Lynn. Jamie Lynn, bring it on. Let's all bring it on.
Bring it on!
Bring it on. It's on. Hit that subscribe button. Lots more coming here. Hit that bell for all alerts.
Go to Popcorn
Smash that
Planet,
like button. Leave a
please.
comment down below.
And
Oh,
go
it's getting heated
fund him
here.
because
Popcorn Planet.
we
Jamie
need to
Lynn,
bust
bring in the
the
pain.
lies
Okay.
right open
All
on
right.
this
The
one.
gloves are off.
And show
Britney
that
tried to do
this
it
is
well.
a
She
narcissistic
tried to do it
gaslighting woman
calmly. She tried to do it
who wants
secretly.
and
She tried
craves
to do it lovingly.
attention.
Don't call her, Britney. That call is not going to go well. She doesn't want it in the public. She doesn't
She
want it in
doesn't
the
want
public.
anything in the
Because
public
you
because then it will show
She
how
wants you
much
to
of
go
a
back in the shadows and
narcissistic
talk
bitch she
to
is.
the family. Let us sort it out like we always did. No. Do it all publicly.
Yeah, do it
Do it
all
on
public
live
because
Instagram.
it will show
Do
more and
not
more and
let
more
these
what kind of
spiders,
people
these
she
rats,
is and the kind
put
of
you
people
into
she's
privacy
dealing with.
ever again. They cannot be trusted. We love you, Britney. We stand with you, Britney. We got your back.
I am
She does
Team
not.
Britney. Britney, I'm here for you.